In the history of football, certain numbers defy logic. 122 goals in a single season. This is the story of how three men from South America formed the most lethal trident the world has ever seen.
Summer 2014. Barcelona was a club in transition. Luis Suarez arrived from Liverpool for 82 million euros, carrying the weight of a FIFA ban and the expectations of a city hungry for glory.
Luis Enrique faced a tactical puzzle. To make it work, he moved the world's best player, Lionel Messi, back to the right wing, allowing Suarez to operate as a traditional number 9 and Neymar to exploit the left flank. January 2015. A defeat against Real Sociedad sparked a crisis. Rumors of a rift between Messi and Enrique dominated the headlines. The season was on the brink of collapse. But behind closed doors, a pact was made. The ego was set aside. Friendship became the fuel for a tactical machine that would soon dismantle every defense in Europe. The spark ignited against Atletico Madrid. Neymar's flair, Suarez's grit, and Messi's vision combined for the first time in perfect harmony. The MSN was officially born. Messi evolved. No longer just a finisher, he became the ultimate architect. His expected assists, XA, skyrocketed as he dropped deeper to dictate the tempo of the game. On the left, Neymar provided the verticality. His 1v1 dribbling success rate was the highest in the Liga, forcing defenders to double-team him, which opened space for the others. Luis Suarez brought the garra. His relentless pressing from the front forced turnovers in the final third, turning defensive transitions into immediate scoring opportunities. The numbers were staggering. By the end of the season, they would tally 122 goals across all competitions. To put that in perspective, they outscored almost every entire club in Europe. In the Champions League, they were merciless. They traveled to Manchester, and Suarez reminded England why he was the most feared striker in the world with a clinical brace.
Next was Paris. Suarez produced a masterclass of individual brilliance, nutmegging David Luiz twice on his way to silencing the Parc des Princes. The synergy was becoming telepathic.
We call it gravity. Messi's presence alone pulled entire defensive lines out of position. By simply standing on the right, he created the gaps that Suarez and Neymar exploited. What made them different was the lack of jealousy. Messi, the king, frequently gave penalties to Neymar and Suarez to boost their confidence. It was a brotherhood, not just a frontline. In the El Clasico, they proved they were the masters of the big occasion. Their chemistry dismantled Real Madrid's structure, proving that the BBC, Bale, Benzema, and Cristiano had met their match. The Champions League semi-final brought a familiar face, Pep Guardiola and his Bayern Munich. Pep knew the danger, but even he couldn't prepare for the magic that was about to unfold. Then, the moment that broke the internet, Messi's feint sent Jerome Boateng to the turf, a chip over the best goalkeeper in the world, Manuel Neuer, pure, unalterated genius. In the second leg, Neymar's brace killed the tie. The MSN was now a counter-attacking weapon of mass destruction, capable of transitioning from defense to goal in under 10 seconds. Before the European final, there was the Copa del Rey. Messi produced perhaps the greatest individual goal in history, a 50-meter solo run that left an entire team in his wake. Berlin, the final hurdle. Juventus stood in the way of a historic treble. The world tuned in to see if the MSN could complete their mission.
It took only 4 minutes. Neymar's vision found Iniesta, who set up Rakitic. The MSN didn't need to score to be influential. Their movement created the space for everyone else.
Juventus fought back. Morata equalized. For a moment, the dream was in jeopardy. The Italian giants used their tactical discipline to stifle the spaces.
But you cannot keep them quiet for 90 minutes. Messi's stinging shot was parried, and there was Suarez, the man who started the season in exile, scoring the goal that would define his career.
In the dying seconds, Neymar added the third. The crown was secured. The MSN had conquered Europe, scoring in the final to put the exclamation point on their dominance.
The treble, La Liga, Copa del Rey, and the Champions League. A feat rarely achieved, made possible by a strike force that redefined the limits of offensive football. Let's look at the data. 122 goals. Messi led the scoring, but Suarez's 21 assists in a shortened season proved he was the perfect foil. They weren't just scoring, they were creating for each other. They outscored entire empires. The MSN outscored the total goals of the entire Real Madrid squad that season. They outscored the champions of England and Germany combined.
Tactically, Suarez allowed Messi to be free. By pinning the 2 center-backs deep, Suarez created a no-man's land where Messi could operate without being marked by a defender.
It was a triumph of South American football. 3 rivals on the international stage, united by a common language and a shared understanding of the streets where they learned to play.
The chemistry wasn't just on match days. At the Ciutat Esportiva, the bond grew. They were friends first, teammates second. This emotional connection translated into an on-field telepathy.
Defenders described playing against them as a nightmare. If you stopped Messi, Neymar would burn you. If you stopped both, Suarez would find a way to punish you. There was no right answer.
Credit belongs to Luis Enrique. He modernized Barcelona's tiki-taka by adding a more direct vertical element. He realized that with these 3, the fastest way to the goal was the best way.
Even set pieces became a weapon. Messi's precision, combined with the movement of Suarez and Neymar, made every foul near the box a death sentence for the opposition. The 2014-2015 season remains the gold standard for attacking trios. It wasn't just about the volume of goals, it was about the beauty and variety of how they were scored.
Statistically, they outperformed the legendary trios of the past. Di Stefano, Puskas, and Gento. Jairzinho, Pelé, and Tostão. The MSN's output was mathematically superior. They would go on to score even more the following season, but 2015 was the year they shocked the world. The year they proved that 3 superstars could coexist and thrive.
They inspired a generation. They showed that football is a game of joy, of sharing, and of collective brilliance. The 122 goals weren't just a record, they were a gift to the fans.
The world of football will never forget the year 2015. The year the MSN outscored entire empires and etched their names into the halls of eternity.
122 goals, 3 trophies, 1 incredible bond. The tactical flexibility and individual brilliance of Messi, Suarez, and Neymar created a perfect storm that we may never see again.
Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, Neymar Jr., the MSN. 122 goals that changed the game forever. Thank you for watching this tribute to the greatest trident in football history.